Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare! In the world of One Piece, a character's dream can make or break them. Luffy wants to become the Pirate King, Zoro wants to become the world's greatest swordsman, and Sanji wants to get off the sex offender list. But what if the Straw Hat's dream gets shattered harder than the air when Whitebeard uses his Tremor Queef attack? In this video, I'll go over all the Straw Hat's worst possible nightmares. Part 1. Alright, starting out with the strongest member of the crew, we have Usopp. In this messed up ending, Usopp gains the strongest future sight in the series and can see years into the future. Wait, that doesn't sound so bad. He could retire from being a pirate and become a day trader. Sure, future sight would let him see all the good in his life, like marrying Kaya or becoming a brave warrior. But he'd also be forced to see the ugly. I swear if my editor puts a pic of me for ugly, I'ma beat his ass. He'd also be forced to see the ugly parts of his life, like Kaya dying or his friends abandoning him. There's two things you need to know about Usopp. First is he's a god of eating pussy. I mean, he can go down on the chick and penetrate her with his nose at the same time. Lucky bastard. But he's also a paranoid little shit who overthinks everything. Once he gets a glimpse of these tragedies, Usopp will hyperfixate on them till he asphyxiates. To avoid being in too deep, Usopp tells himself lies so he can convince himself that those visions aren't real. But even this isn't enough to save bro, and he ends up with schizo. As Usopp's brain fragments, he begins to wonder if any of the adventures he went on were real or not. All that bravery he conjured up over the years is flushed down the toilet. Thus, Usopp isn't remembered as a brave warrior of the sea, but a cowardly liar because of what he sees. Fortunately, not all Straw Hats can see the same way he does. Like Brook, since he has no eyes, or foreskin.
Yo ho 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 ho, subscribe or me and Santa will empty our balls onto you, you little ho ho ho.
But having no foreskin would be a much better fate compared to what I've cooked up for our musician. Brook's nightmare is that he finally reunites with Laboon. Isn't that literally his dream? Hold on, let me finish. Okay, now let me finish the explanation. Well, because Brook meets Laboon in his Skeletor form, Laboon doesn't recognize him. Not a problem, because Brook is gonna play Binks Sake. So he whips out his violin faster than I whipped it out a few seconds ago. He starts playing, but nothing. Did Laboon forget about the song over all these years? No, it's much worse than that. As you know, Laboon spent years banging Crocus and himself into the red line. But all those years of banging caused brain damage and made him DEAF. So not only is Laboon still waiting for Brook, but he keeps banging into the wall until his brain is as scrambled as Usopp's. Since Brook is immortal, he watches our beloved whale hurt himself until Laboon finally goes belly up and ends up as a special at the Baratie. Our Soul King Brook has become a sad King Brook. But let's move on from our Soul King to Prince King and talk about Sanji. In Sanji's nightmare, he finally finds the All Blue. It's everything he heard in the stories. The beaches, the bitches, the fishes. Wait, what's that in the distance? Oh, never mind. It's just Blackbeard writing a check to Perona for her feet pics. But wait, behind him is a floating restaurant. The restaurant's name is the All Sacre Bleu, and it serves every fish from all four seas. But you see, that's the problem. When I said the restaurant cooks everything, I meant everything. One of their specialties is mermaid tail. And because mermaids are so hard to come by, the All Sacre Bleu charges a high berry for this dish, which means only rich snobs are eating at this diner. Not only is Sanji against hurting women, but he's also surrounded by people who remind him of his L family. But it gets worse. Once Sanji finds this out, he loses his shit and starts fucking up the restaurant staff. One of the cooks is a female swordsman, and because he can't fight against women, she chops off both his arms. Sanji can never cook again. His dreams of being head chef at Gordon Ramsay's new restaurant in Las Vegas has come to shambles. Sanji will never see food the same way. Seafood, see what I did there? Beware of the sea bear. The one prop I'll give this restaurant is that they never serve fishman meat because it's considered dirty. Which brings me to the dirty fisherman of the crew. So let's discuss how this plays out. To start off, Fishman Island is destroyed by Luffy as Madam Shirley predicted. The fishmen are forced to evacuate to the surface faster than I can ejaculate to Burgess. Once they reach land, seeking refuge is the next task at hand. They try to interlace with human society, but the discrimination they face leaves them with anxiety. I don't know where I'm going with all these rhymes, but is using a transponder snail as a fleshlight really a crime? Anyways, most of the humans don't accept that fishmen live among them now. so they avoid interaction at all costs. The only people who want to hang out with fishmen are like the weird sex freaks who want to put it into their guilds or get a handy with the grippiness of fishman karate. And yes, I'm talking about myself here. The microaggressions continue, but there's never outward hate towards the fishmen until one day Jinbei witnesses a fishman being attacked by humans. He doesn't stand for this, so he stands up for the fishman and beats the bully's ass. The bully then falls down these stairs and is dead. Unfortunately, Big News Morgans was there and clipped Jinbei unintentionally killing the human. Next day, paper published, Fishman on Human Crime led by ex-pirate Jinbei. The story causes mass hatred and the fishmen are forced to migrate to smaller isolated islands, further stretching the bonds between humans and fishmen. Our first son of the sea has been charged with murder in the first degree. If only everyone could be as accepting as Luffy. Who will be going over next? Now, I'm sure the first thing that comes to your mind is he dies or Blackbeard becomes Pirate King. But that wouldn't be that bad. I'm sure even if he died, which is highly unlikely, Oda would still find a way to end One Piece in a positive way. So he'd go out like Roger, starting a new era and making way for One Piece Shippuden. So what would be his nightmare? Well, we know his lifespan has been getting fucked by Gear 2, Gear 3rd, Ivankov saving him, and now by Gear 5. At this point, his lifespan has probably been halved, and growing older also means getting weaker. So in order to defeat the world government and Aimu, Law sacrifices his life and performs the immortal life surgery on Luffy. This way, he can keep on trucking and win the battle. Fast forward to the future, Luffy defeats them, becomes Pirate King, and everything is A-O-Kiji. So after the crew go their separate way and focus on their own dreams, Luffy is sailing alone and finds himself in the Florian Triangle. The storm gets so bad that his ship capsizes and he falls into the ocean. He can't swim back up because of his devil fruit, but he also doesn't die from being immortal. So he spends the rest of his life constantly drowning and suffocating in a dark ocean. The salty water makes his skin shrivel up like that transponder snail I came in earlier. There is truly no hope for him now because no marines or pirates regularly pass these waters. Our sun god has met his watery grave. And that's everyone that I will cover in this video. Comment your favorite nightmare and ideas for other members of the crew. And if you enjoyed this video, you probably enjoy watching others in pain. You know who else enjoys pain? Subs for Dominatrix. So you should sub to my channel for more One Piece and anime content. Bye bye!